What is up, everybody? How is it going? Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live. Happy Tuesday. I don't feel like shit. I'm not sick anymore, and I'm feeling great. And I'm excited to do a live where I'm feeling like I'm firing on all cylinders a little bit today. So it's good. I'm excited. I got some weird mad scientist hair going on right now because I'm growing my hair out. It is what it is. Let's jump into this topic though, real quick. As you were tuning in, though, let me know how your day is going. Let me know how you were feeling. Let me know how you were feeling, because today, it's we're coming up on Christmas. So yeah, hope you're feeling good. Hope you're in a good mood. Hope you're having a good day. Today we're gonna be talking about what's more important, quality of food or the quantity of food that you're eating. And we're gonna keep it in the context of weight loss or fat loss, because it does depend on what your goal is, right? It does depend on what your goal is. Because if you're trying to gain weight, there's maybe a different way that you want to think about going about it. But that's besides the point. We're talking about fat loss, talking about weight loss, because that's what we talk about around here. Because that's what I help people do for the most part, sustainably. And so, yeah, we're gonna jump into this in just a second. As you are tuning in, though, feel free to give this video a like. Let people know. Let me know that you're here right now. Let me know that you're here right now. Drop a comment. Say hi. And yeah, we're gonna get this thing rolling here in just a second. And if you're watching this at a later time, hashtag replay so that way I know you saw it. But let's jump into this. I'm gonna keep this quick, keep this brief. Yeah, because I'm about to hop on another like live group meeting thing where I'm gonna learn a bunch of cool stuff and I'm excited about it. So yeah, so what we're gonna talk about: quality versus quantity for food when it comes to fat loss or weight loss. And I'm gonna say something that probably not most people. I don't know what I feel like. Some people would agree, some people wouldn't. Hello, hello. And some people would agree, some people wouldn't. And I'm here to tell you, like, if your goal is weight loss, or even if your goal is fat loss, it comes down to quantity. Quantity is more important than quality, and why is that? Well, one, you can gain weight, you can get fat from eating healthy food. You can. If you eat too much healthy food, you can get fat. Like, just because it's healthy doesn't mean doesn't have a lot of calories in it. Because at the end of the day, calories in versus calories out is the most important thing, the most important factor when it comes to weight loss. That's going to be the biggest determining factor if you're going to lose weight or not, is if you're in a caloric deficit. And so, quality versus quantity, yeah, I mean, if you ideally you want to do both, right? Ideally, you want to eat less than you should be, or eat less than your body needs, so that way you lose weight. And obviously, you want to have the quality of the food be good food, right? So that way you're getting your micronutrients and you're feeling good about it. But if you had to pick one, if you had to pick one, quantity, it wins hands down, because it doesn't matter if you're eating good healthy food. If you're eating too much of it and your goal is to lose weight or your goal is to lose fat, you're going to gain weight. So, and it's not going to happen, so you're not going to reach your goals. Versus if you're eating shitty food, if you're eating like really bad food that's not really like good for you, like micronutrient wise, might be high in a lot of being super processed and shit like that, like McDonald's or something like that. Not to throw them under the bus, but whatever. They can handle it. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. So, but McDonald's, in a sense, like you can lose weight, you can lose fat eating McDonald's every day. You can. You can lose fat eating shitty food from any place really, and see progress. You might feel like crap when you're doing it, and you might not have a very good body composition because of it, because of what you're doing, because you're not eating good food, you're not hitting your macros properly or effectively. But you'll lose weight, yeah. Like you see people all the time. You see people all the time on social media, on like you've seen those stories where it's like, so and so lost all this weight and he ate McDonald's every day. And it's like, yeah, you can. He probably felt like crap, right? He probably felt like crap because he wasn't getting any micronutrients in because he was eating a McDouble or a Whopper or whatever every day. And those aren't the most, micronutrient dense foods like fruits and vegetables are, like lentils or things with fiber and all that. Like those things are, you know, really important so that way your body functions properly, all of your systems function properly, your organs are functioning at their best. Like there's a reason why there's macronutrients and there's also micronutrients that are essential, for the most part, for our body to operate efficiently. And so if you're not getting those in, you're going to feel like crap, right? But at the end of the day, right, you're going to have a way more effective weight loss or fat loss journey eating like crap and eating less than your body needs, so being in a caloric deficit, and you're going to lose weight. You're going to see progress that way. Versus if you're eating a bunch of healthy food, but you're eating too much of it, right? You're going to gain weight or you're going to stay the same and you're not going to see progress. So a lot of times people confuse those two things. Like, like they think, unhealthy food, I can't lose weight eating that, and so they have this like weird relationship with food where they can't feel like they can have any of it, and they're in this all-in-all mentality about like, and they're not following like an 80-20 rule or a 90-10 rule, and so they end up quitting because they're like, I want those things, and I feel like I can't have those things because I'm on a weight loss journey, which is not true. You can have those things, and with moderation in mind. But also, you've got these people that are out there right now who are like, I'm eating avocado and a handful of nuts, and I'm eating like healthy, I'm eating all these healthy foods, but they're eating a shit ton of it, and because they're eating a shit ton of it, they're gaining weight or they're not seeing progress. And so, at the end of the day, if you want to see progress, quality or quantity of food, right? How many calories you're consuming on a daily basis is way more important, right? If you can do both, obviously, because you're going to feel way better and you're going to be more efficient and effective at actually reaching your goals, because your body's going to be functioning properly. But at the end of the day, if you had to pick one, quantity, right? Quantity. So yeah, so I see a comment here: calories determine weight loss, quality, macros, fiber, micros determine how you feel. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's like a really really good way of like putting it essentially, um, and how effective your journey is, how optimized it is, how quickly you get there can't be determined by those things because micronutrients impact us in a lot of ways. Whether that be our mood, whether that be actually how like our body functions and the systems how they function effectively, like the efficiency of it, how we sleep, like all those things are important. But like at the end of the day, like if you had to straight up pick one, and you're just like, well, I can only afford this like cheap food, or I can only afford, and that's another thing too. Like fast food's actually technically like going to be more expensive on a monthly basis than actually cooking your own food and buying stuff in bulk and stuff. But that's besides the point. But like like if people are like, if you had to pick it, or if you had like if you're some people like they get free meals too, right? They get free meals wherever they're working at. If you're working at a restaurant or you're working at McDonald's or whatever it may be, like there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're getting a free meal from there, it's like sometimes people are like, well shit, like I'm getting this free meal, like I want to use it, but I feel like if I eat it I can't lose weight. And it's like, no, that's not true. You can't have those things. Yeah, your macros might be a little bit off by the end of the day, and so maybe you won't have like things perfect, but if you're in a caloric deficit, you're gonna lose weight. That's just how it works. If you eat too much healthy food, you're in a caloric surplus, or you're at maintenance at least, and you're not going to gain, or you're not going to lose weight, and you might even gain weight. So you gotta think about it this way. You gotta wait. For somebody who doesn't care about their body composition and they're just like, I just want to lose weight for the sake of losing weight, and maybe it's something that you have to do for your health, and you can think about keeping your muscle as much as possible later, or like building it back up later. Like that's fine too. Like you can just go for straight up weight loss. Not what I would recommend, unless it's like something that's like dire, like that you're like, I need to do this, otherwise I'm gonna die, kind of deal. Or if you need to do it to get like a life saving surgery or something like that, like like obviously, like just go for straight up weight loss. But if you have time, right? If you have the time and you have the patience and you have the wherewithal to do it the right way, the sustainable way, you're gonna want to go for quantity and quality of food, so that way you can maintain your muscle as best as possible and keep your body composition, in a in a positive place for muscle growth and muscle retention, because that's going to help you burn more calories, and it's going to help you feel good and have more energy, and like have a functioning body for the most part, later down the line, especially whenever you're going to really wish that you had that muscle that you may have just that some people just say I don't care, and then they throw all caution to the wind, and they just eat like shit the whole time while they're losing weight, but they're in a caloric deficit, and then they lose a bunch of muscle, right? Strength training helps with that too, though. So that's all I got for you guys today. So at the end of the day, quantity versus quality, both are important, but quantity is more important if your goal is strictly, weight loss or fat loss, right? Doing both in tandem, right? That's whenever you get that sweet spot where it's just like, I'm crushing it. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Happy Tuesday. Hope this live was helpful. Let me know your number one takeaway in the comments down below. Give this video a like. Feel free to share it, because there's going to be a lot of people. And maybe you're even somebody who's a gym newbie or a nutrition newbie right now. And if you are, hey, that's cool. Welcome. But also feel free to share this so your fellow friends and family and other gym newbies and nutrition newbies can learn about this stuff because maybe they don't know and they're about to try and lose weight and they're probably going to try and do it unsustainably and it's probably not going to turn out too well and they might fail. And I don't want you to feel one, I don't want you to fail, and two, I don't want you to feel bad about about that stuff because you just don't know, right? We don't know what we don't know, and so that's why I'm here to try and educate you guys on these things that are going to be important for you to know whenever you're trying to progress and reach your fitness or weight loss goals. So that's what we're here for. Other than that, though, hope you got value from this, and I will talk to you all later. Peace, love, protein. Bye.